If you enjoy a good Donald Trump humiliation story, then please stand by because I have not one, but two stories that will satisfy your Trump takedown soul coming up next. I'm Dan and welcome to another Occupy Democrats Report. To see all of our videos exposing the growing anti-Trump sentiment that he inspires, please hit that subscribe button. In our featured story, the Nobel Peace Prize Committee just hit him right in the ego with a Nazi comparison to what just transpired with the medal transfer. But first, he also suffered a new domestic blow with regards to his Kennedy Center takeover. The New York Times article reads,
Martha Graham Dance Company won't celebrate centennial at Kennedy Center. The Martha Graham Dance Company said on Friday that it would not perform at the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts this spring as part of the troupe's centennial tour across the United States. The Martha Graham Dance Company regrets that we are unable to perform at the Kennedy Center in April, it said in a statement. We hope to perform at the center in the future. The company did not give a reason for the withdrawal, but several artists and groups have pulled out of Kennedy Center events since its board of trustees voted last month to add President Trump's name to the building. The Kennedy Center regularly hosts major touring companies like American Ballet Theater and New York City Ballet, and it has a history of staging modern and contemporary troupes. In August, it named Stephen Nakagawa, a former dancer with the Washington Ballet, as its director of dance and programming after dismissing the previous leadership. Some of the fired employees said that Richard Grinnell, the center's president, had told them to come up with programming he considered more broadly appealing, citing the TV show So You Think You Can Dance as an example. In a letter to Grinnell that Nakagawa wrote before his hiring, he said he was distressed by the rise of woke culture at the Washington Ballet and other companies. He wrote that he wanted to end the dominance of leftist ideologies in the arts and return to classical ballet's purity and timeless beauty. Martha Graham Dance Company is the latest group or artist to withdraw from Kennedy Center events. Bela Fleck, an 18-time Grammy Award winner, pulled out from performances with the National Symphony Orchestra, and jazz musicians canceled Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve concerts at the center. The Washington National Opera, which had performed at the center since 1971, announced last week that it would permanently move out. Those are just the highlights. For the full story, please visit the New York Times website.
Two things about that article. Bringing something like So You Think You Can Dance to the cultural hub of performance art reflects on Trump's uncultured reality TV paradigm. And second, did you notice that the Times made 5 references to the Kennedy Center and made 0 references to the Trump Kennedy Center? 0. And now for something less than 0 for that 0. Another historical dot has been connected between Trump and Nazi Germany. A post by Monica Henson sums it up perfectly. 2 people in history have gotten secondhand Nobel Peace Prizes that didn't win. The first was Joseph Goebbels in 1943. And the Peace Prize Committee issued this scathing press release to leave no doubt where they stand on Maria Corina Machado gifting her medal to Trump.
The Nobel Prize and the laureate are inseparable. The medal and the diploma are the physical symbols confirming that an individual or organization has been awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. The prize itself, the honor and recognition, remains inseparably linked to the person or organization designated as the laureate by the Norwegian Nobel Committee. A laureate cannot share the prize with others, nor transfer it once it has been announced. A Nobel Peace Prize can also never be revoked. The decision is final and applies for all time. The Norwegian Nobel Committee does not see it as their role to engage in day-to-day commentary on Peace Prize laureates or the political processes that they are engaged in. The prize is awarded on the basis of the laureate's contributions by the time that the committee's decision is taken.
And here's where it gets interesting. After saying they don't engage in day-to-day commentary, they dropped this bullet point in the press release, perhaps setting up the world for commentary of its own. And the photo you'll see was added by me for context.
Knut Hamsun, Literature Prize 1920. In 1943, the Norwegian author Knut Hamsun traveled to Germany and met with propaganda minister Joseph Goebbels. After returning to Norway, he sent his Nobel medal to Goebbels as a gesture of thanks for the meeting. Goebbels was honored by the gift. The present whereabouts of the medal are unknown.
If there's a single through line that connects these two stories, it's that Donald Trump keeps trying to force himself upon institutions that just don't want him. He can crash the gates, but it reeks of desperation, and these are daggers that hit him hard. And we know that the Nobel Peace Prize Committee's refusal to answer his original cries for attention, their refusal to entertain the absurd idea that he can receive a medal secondhand, and now their comparison of his moment to a Nazi moment absolutely cuts him 3 layers deep.